is the Maggie and I Show.
Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the Maggie and I Show right here on Facebook and YouTube land. If you're here for the first time, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you like the content here. Actually, you're going to like it. Just give it a minute, okay? Just stay. Don't go nowhere, okay? Stay, because if you heard anything my contributors had to say, like seriously, this is your show. If you want to get relationship right, if you're tired of going around that mountain and being heartbroken and yada, 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 this is your show. And my regulars, thank y'all for being here. We so love you. We appreciate you. You guys make this show the success that it is. And I really cannot do without y'all's support. So once again, big thank you. And I really appreciate y'all. So with that said, please share, like, comment, save somebody from a whole lot of tears. Today, we are unpacking age difference, okay? We want to talk about the significant age difference. Do you know somebody, or are you that person who has had a relationship or is in a relationship? You are married to someone who's significantly older than you or younger than you. That's what we're talking about today, because being that this is the series, The Joys and the Woes of Singlehood, we got to deal with it. And I've had a few people say, well, I'm not sure about dating a woman saying I'm not sure about dating a younger guy or someone who's way too old or whatever the case. Well, this is your show. Let's get into it. Straight up, before we do that, let me get my contributors to introduce themselves. We're going to give the wonderful young man in our midst first place because, hey, we're flipping the tables now, okay? So over to you, Minister Israel. Please introduce yourself. Tell us who you are and what you do and where you are at the moment.
Hi everyone, my name is Israel. My name is Israel Iyenhinbegin. I'm joining this call from Nigeria, and professionally I do digital marketing. I'm a content developer, and so this is just my work, much more than my work. I have a job too. I like to put my mouth in conversation that has to do with marriage, relationships, and love, because I love love, And so that's what always keeping me that's what's bringing me back here, because the conversation here is solid, is standard, and so it is filtered. And so that's just why I'm interested to always come on this show. And so I'm back here again. So glad to join this conversation. Thank you for having me all the time. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. And like you, Minister Israel, I love love. Ooh, I love love. All right, let's hear what the baby of the family has to say. Adam, say hey to us, Adam, and tell us what you are doing with yourself, where you're at, for the benefit of those that are here for the first time. Go ahead, sweetie.
Okay, so my name is Joe, but I like it when people call me Atom. Yes, I'm in medical school in China, I9 ICO. Yes, I'm a writer,
podcaster,
and I do a little bit of coaching here and there for teenagers. I just got into that recently, and it's been going all good. So I love love too, and I am just here. Yeah, thank you.
Fantastic. You're welcome, Adam. God bless you, sis. Miss Sharon, you're the mama of the show. You're the mama. Yeah. You're the wisdom tank. Listen, you're the mama in the show. You got all the wisdom, the experience, the wisdom. So go ahead. Welcome. Say something, man.
Okay, so my name is Apostle Sharon Faulkner. I am the pastor and founder of Gang Ministries, which is, we are home-based in Springfield, Ohio. Gang stands for God's Anointed Notorious Gangsters. We are biblically based, and we are prayer intercessory warriors. I also, I'm a mother to many. I just recently here have acquired a new position of being a mother to women who have been sex trafficked and prostituted. So that is one of my new, which is good for me. It's like the Lord brought me full circle because I was a pimp. That is my story. I was a pimp. And so therefore he turned that thing all the way around. So now I'm doing it on the other side, which is helping them. So yeah. So yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Amazing. Well, there you go. You have heard it from my contributors. And if you don't already know, I'm Maggie Murgai, host of the Maggie Murgai Show. Love doing this. Yes. Okay. Enough of messing around. People of God, can we talk about age difference? Does it straight up? Let me just start with you, Adam. Does it matter? Yes or no? Like, as long as you got two consenting adults, does it matter?
Yes, you might want to think about it very well.
Okay, elaborate.
When it comes with age difference, you have to understand something about the time those people grew up, the age gap.
The generation.
How do I say this? Yes, thank you.
Gap.
The generation gap.
Yeah.
You have to understand the generation gap, and you have to be very sure that you want to go with the generation gap, because there are some things that Gen Zs do now that is going to be normal with Gen Zs, but will never be normal with millennials. It's like,
when you say Gen Zs, what does that mean, ma'am?
I think that's between people that were born at the 1997, 8 down to 2005.
Okay.
Thereabout. Then it's 2005 down at the generation Alpha, if I'm right. Yeah. Okay. So it's like generation gap. They just grouped us like that.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm just talking about.
Yeah.
Like,
glad you said they grouped y'all.
Yeah.
Because I happen to be a mother of one of those. Okay. Anyway, that's beside the point. Go ahead.
Yeah, so there are going to be things that are okay for people who are like 20s now, and will never be okay for someone who is 40 years old. And so when you want to come and do something with someone who is 40 years old, you have to understand the way the person is wired, the way the person thinks, and you have to be sure that you want to take it. Because if you don't want to take it, there's no point of going. Can't you work together except they agree? No.
Right.
So
That's so true. Minister Israel, what are your thoughts? I mean, as a guy, because you're kind of like representing the guys here on this situation. So does it really matter? I know you are an unmarried single, soon to be married. But what are your thoughts? Could a guy, consenting adult, hook up with, let's say, a woman that was 10, 15, 20 years older than him? And is that a problem? Is that a societal thing, or what is it? Talk to us, sir.
Okay, so for me, I'm going to speak on behalf of the guys, the male gender.
Yes, please.
So, as a guy, we really don't have problem with that because men are dominating in nature. Right.
Okay.
So even if there is a age gap, there's age differences, guys really don't give a damn. Permit me to use that word. They really all that. But what we are concerned about is the society. It has always been the society. It has always been what people will say. But from their people don't have issue with that. And so I also need to say this, that when it comes to older relationship, like age differences relationship, it has always begin with the people involved. It's the people involved first before third party. I've heard about stories of people that are engaged, that are even in marriage. They did not tell anybody that madam is the mother is older than the father. They did not tell anybody. It was a few years down the line. Maybe they were doing an interview or something. That's where they exposed themselves that mommy is older than me. Do you understand? People don't know. So I believe that when it comes to that age differences relationship, it first has to do with the people involved. Can they manage it? Can they handle it? And when we are asking, no, we should not just ask this generally. It should be a person. Can you date someone that is older than you? Can you undo it? Can you flow with it? It's I believe that's personal, very personal.
Wow. Yeah, I like that. That it's really down to the individuals in that relationship. Miss Apostle Faulkner, what are your thoughts, ma'am?
I have to agree with Israel, because it really does boil down to the two people who have to deal with it. It doesn't matter what a society is always going to have an opinion. I would say for a woman dating a younger man, can you handle him leading you and he's younger than you?
Right. So that's something to consider. Yeah.
That is a whole lot to consider, because, here in America, we are so independent. And so, it's a matter of, and even if he was older than, it's a matter of you maintaining an independence, but still being able to allow a man to lead you, whether he was younger or he was older. So I think it does depend on the individual, because men don't care. They don't care how old you are. They really don't.
Wow. There you go. Mr. Israel is like, yeah, I told y'all we don't care. Okay. But let me ask this then. What happens then when you have someone's just coming into like what Adam was saying, like the that age generational gap, right? You have, let's say, for argument's sake, let's say it's a 21-year-old young woman, okay, hooking up with a 40-year-old man. Now, in my opinion, let me say something, and then y'all can say whatever, okay, however you see it. In my opinion, can they get together? In a straight answer, yeah, why not? Okay, but I think they will struggle. I think the 21-year-old will struggle simply because of the growth, the maturity, the experience in life. Now, if that same couple was to meet 10 years later, whereas the guy is now he's now 50 and she's 31, I think they'll probably get on like a house on fire.
Right.
Because at this point, I just feel like the woman will have matured. She'll have come into her own. She'll have discovered herself. Unlike when she's younger, same guy, same person. When younger, I just feel like the guy would almost be, she may very well feel suffocated. She might feel controlled. Although on the flip side, she might feel it's more of a secure relationship because the guy has lived, I guess he's experienced life, like he knows what he wants. Whereas I don't think she would really know what she wants at 21. What, Adam, you're going, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I can add to that. And I think that can create a big problem, because a lady that has not found herself, when you throw her into that place, it's possible that in the next 5 years, when she starts discovering herself, she starts hating the man, saying that he boxed her. You understand? When it's terrible for you to actually get together with someone who has not discovered themselves. Because when they start discovering themselves, they can outgrow you also. They can say, this is not it. You don't look like what I want right now. You don't look like what I should be with. So for a 21 years old, does she figured out life? Not really. But when she's like 31 and the guy is like 41, 50, she knows what she already has bearing in life also. She has figured out a little of herself and everything. So she doesn't feel like a kid anymore. A 21 with a 40 years old, she will still feel like he's a father. There's this part of her that would want to like see him like elderly, that want to see him like he has gone ahead. You understand?
Right.
Yeah, and but when she's 31, she's like, okay, I got my shit all together also.
Yeah.
He has this. Yes, so there's this. She will know how to carry herself in his presence.
Yeah.
She doesn't see herself as someone who has to be babied, like she would have done when she was 21.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
I agree.
Right. Hey, Minister Israel, say something before we bring in the wisdom 10. Come, Mama Sharon, go ahead.
So, for me, I believe, first of all, there is no rule on how to love. There is no rule for how to love. So, you can love either in ascending order or descending order, if you understand what I mean.
Sure.
So, but then I believe people can learn too. People can learn. Sometimes people learn to meet up. I've just come to level of your partner. If you are the younger version here, you can always grow up and meet up with this person on high elevation. And if you are the older, then you can always balance. You can level down. But meanwhile, have it here. When we said older generation, the age gap should not be very long. If it's very long, really, there's a lot of work to be done. If it's but when we say age differences, say maybe between 1 to 5, you can get that. You can maneuver. I mean, it's not so much. The generation gap is not so much. But if it's longer, if it's getting to 7, 10, 11, 20, man, there's a lot of work to be done. And so people need to understand that. Even your mindset on its own, it's a big thing that you need to navigate, because the way this person is functioning, is reasoning things, will be different from your end, right? You cannot be calling somebody that's as old as your father baby. Like, I'm just baby. I mean, all of those things that people do in relationship, in marriage, you're going to contextualize it, because it's not normal. It's not something. You won't be able to express yourself. Let me just put it that way. You won't be able to express yourself. All the shenanigans, or whatever, all your dreams, aspiration when it comes to relationship or marriage, you won't be able to express it fully, because look at this person you are dealing with. He's older than you. He's your junior brother, junior sister. So I think when we talk about age differences, we should consider the gap. It should not be too wide. If it's too wide, it means there's going to be double work to keep up and the understanding generally.
I have to agree with you, sir. Apostle Sharon, what are your thoughts, ma'am?
Well, for me, I can only speak on my own experience, but I dated someone who was 19 years my junior. So,
what you say?
He was 19 years my junior. I also dated someone who was 30 years my elder. So when I was 20,
you've been on both sides of the spectrum.
I've been on both sides of the spectrum. When I was 26, he was like 56, I believe. Yeah. And he was a very handsome man. She said, I feel like shouting.
Adam, shout with me.
Shout, Adam.
She is a cougar. Girl. Okay. Georgia will be smelling some juice earlier, people of God. She's here. She's talking. Oh, yes.
So I've been on both sides. I've been on both sides of it.
Hold on. 19 years younger.
Yeah, 19 years younger.
Pretty much your son.
Yeah, he was actually younger than my son too.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
At the time.
He was younger than your son. Okay. Yeah. And then you had, for lack of a better word, you had this sugar daddy. Who was 30.
Yeah, he was 30 years. I was 26 and he was 56.
56.
Yeah.
Oh my. Yeah. Oh my. So obviously, you don't have a problem with, the age for you. It's just a number.
The age was just number. Well, I will say for the older man, he was a very handsome man. But I was in a different time in a different space in that area. And I will agree, because at that time I was like, I am not about to be with this man for the rest of my life. I already knew that, you know what I mean? But he brought stability for me. You know what I'm saying? And that was what I looked at. He brought stability, and you do a lot of things for your children. And so that's what he brought for me, was stability. Now, the one that was younger than me, 19 years my junior, that was, I've always, young men really gravitate towards me for whatever reason or whatever, but my spirit is young though. Okay. So, but what was funny about me and him was that I listened to rap music, and he listened to classical music and different, you know what I'm saying? We were like, you get in the car and it's different, and you're like, wait a minute, what is this? You know? And so he was like, you gonna listen? I'm like, okay. And he, but he, from the beginning, he talked to me very forcefully, and I had to bite my tongue. Yeah. But really, he was trying to see how I could handle him talking like that. That was his way of coming towards me. So that was, it was an interesting time, and it was really nice. It was really nice. Amazing. And he was saved, so we did ministry together.
You're kidding.
I'm not. And I had just became celibate at that time. So he was, I was like, hey, I don't know what you thought this was, but we learned, the whole nine. So it was pretty cool.
Amazing. Yeah. So let me bring something out of what you just said about the older guy. Stability. I think for ladies that hook up with a guy that's much older, and I think even for that 21-year-old that may be thinking, it's okay, I'm gonna chill out with the 40-year-old and so on and so forth. I think it's that place of stability. I have to agree, because not that this show is about me, but listen, ain't nobody hooking up with anyone younger. Okay, I just don't. That's not me. Like, I'm not wired like that. Okay, like, look, I need you to have your ducks in a row. Okay, you don't have crossed your T's, because ain't nobody gonna baby you here. I need, because listen, I want me a leader. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not saying. I'm planning to try it. Who knows?
Come on, Adam.
Yes, we did say we're gonna find Adam a nice man that's like 25 years older than her. She's only 24, 25. He's gonna be 50. We're gonna do a case study on y'all. Listen, I can just see your daddy flying from Nigeria, from Lagos to China, and be like, I'm gonna whoop this girl silly. I can just see your dad. Because again, we're gonna talk about culture, because some of these things are just in our cultures. They're just in the way we do things. I always say it's great to have Apostle Sharon here, because I get it. You bring the African American perspective,
right?
But you see, I'm still an African girl. Okay, I listen. I am as Kenyan as they come. Mimi ni Mkenya na jivunia kuwa Mkenya. Okay.
I have a question though. I do have a question. I have a question, because it was someone recently who was trying to talk to me, and he is actually 23 years younger than me. And
you just said younger men gravitate towards you.
They do. I always tell my friends, I say, I don't know what it is. Like, I get bubblicious. Like, it's like it's the big wheel. You know what I'm saying? And I get that type. I don't get too many older men that try to talk to me. It's always someone younger. But this one was like 23 years my junior, and he was telling me that. You heard what I said. He was telling me that I was going to be his wife, and that I was going to have children for him. And he lives over in Ghana. And I was like, and And he said, your age does not matter. He said, no one would even know.
But that's so true. Now, see, this is the thing about us, Black women. When they say really black don't crack, really black don't crack. It doesn't. But seriously, coming back to you like the audacity. Yeah, the guy's got some audacity. 23 years younger. And yeah, he'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna marry you. You're gonna have my children. You'd be like, listen, I'm already a grandmother on my way to becoming a great grandmother.
I do have a grandson that is 23. Like, come on.
He can have. Yeah, he can have a baby any moment from now. Right. Oh my goodness, there you go. Which would make you, a great grandmother. And somebody be up in here talking about marrying you and you bearing children. But listen, I don't know whether to call that faith or fantasy, but they
oh honey, he was praying that, decreeing and declaring that. So yeah. Okay,
there you go. But seriously, ma'am, let's talk about the stability. And I think this is where a lot of women feel like an older man may very well be better suited to them because of that stability. Because the truth is, women work hard. Women will work hard. The average woman out there, she'll work hard. She'll try to get her life together. And she kind of like has a vision for her life or her children if she's divorced or maybe had a child before wedlock and that sort of thing. And she's just, getting back on track and with her life. And so I can see how that stability would be a plus, for a woman who would hook up with a much older guy. But I don't think it would necessarily mean financial stability, because not all older guys are doing well financially.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, because stability does not, I guess finances being older does not necessarily mean you got the money anyway.
Right. That's that part. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was well-to-do. He wanted to have me a house built in another state than where we were at, and I was going for it, but I knew I did not love him. And at that time, I was a girl that I was not faithful at all. I will say that. So I wasn't like on that, like, oh, this is the love of, no, I wasn't there. Yeah. So I was thinking like, okay, I'm gonna get this house or whatever. And I had a dream, and it was so real. And it was, in the dream, it was this gorgeous younger guy. And he was like, I can build you another house because there's enough land on here for you to have. And that man came in there, and honey, he had this gun, and I said, no, I ain't doing that. And I told him next time, I said, I can't go nowhere with you, because I felt like God was warning me, like, he could hurt you very seriously because you ain't serious about him. So yeah. So I took heed to that, and I let it go.
Okay, now let me ask this. Let me bring it. Let me contextualize it now. Like I said, Lynette is here. Lynette Shuma, karibu sana dada. She goes, yes, ma'am, tunajivunia kuwa wa Kenya. That's to say, we are proud to be Kenyans. Hallelujah. Okay. But seriously, let's in an African context, okay? And I say this because I'm finding now, I'm currently living in London, okay? Lived in America, lived in both countries, back and forth, America and England, okay? And leaving Kenya, left Kenya pretty young, but I do keep that Africanness, that culture of where I come from, because I just want to, that's my identity, and I find that within our African community, and I get it, we got 2 Nigerians on here. We got Minister Israel, a Nigerian in Nigeria, and we've got Adam, a Nigerian in China, right? And I'm just wondering, and by the way, those of you that are online, the Facebookers, YouTubers, let us know, would you agree that for us as Africans, we seem to have a double standard for this age gap thing? Because you can find an older man, right? Let's say he's even 60, and nobody will raise an eyebrow if he married a girl that was 30 years younger than him. So a 60-year-old man and a 30-year-old woman, and he will marry her and she will bear him children, and they'll be like, oh yeah, Mr. So-and-so, he's married, he's got this young wife. And that's where it ends. But if we flip the tables, if it's, a 60-year-old woman with a 30-year-old man, in our African, see, Adam is already going, in our African culture, and I'm just, this is not an East African issue. It's not a West African issue. I just think it's for us as Africans. Would you agree, Adam and Minister Israel? Because I'm thinking, Apostle Sharon, it's slightly different for the African Americans.
Yeah, it is.
It is, right?
Yeah, it is.
It's okay.
It's
Talk
different
to us about
for
that.
us. It's different for us because here recently they have made being a cougar really, really good. So, it doesn't, and it's a lot of younger men who want that, who want an older woman. So it's kind of different over here. They don't raise too much of an, just here recently, it was a man that was 63 and he married a young lady who was 18 over here in the States. And they were really talking about that. They were really talking about that. But he was an African. I believe he was from Nigeria, but he's a pastor in Florida, I think. Yeah, I think he's a pastor in Florida. And so they were talking about that because she was 18 and he was 63. And it was I
think even for me, that's a little.
Yeah, for me too.
Yeah.
For me too, because, and if I'm not mistaken, she was raised in that church. She grew up in that church. So I think that was the thing too. With that, and that's why a lot of people had an issue with it.
Okay. So in the African American community, and for the benefit of those of you that don't understand what we mean by that, because I appreciate we do have viewers in Africa, and you'd be like, well, African Americans, isn't it that just Africans who are living in America? Yes and no. Yes and no. Okay. But we have Africans who literally left their country of origin and migrated to America. So we still be like, we would identify as whatever country / American. So this is where you hear people say Nigerian American, Kenyan American, South African American, sort of thing. Or you hear African American, which is more to and I hope I don't offend anyone when I say the descendants of slavery.
Yes,
that we are more specific referred to as African American, because sadly that lack of just not knowing where your ancestors were brought in from, what country specifically in Africa, because Africa is not a country, it is a continent. It's a very large, wonderful village with about 54 villages. Countries.
Yes.
Okay. Right. Continent. So for the benefit of thank you, Minister Israel. Okay, so that's just to help somebody understand what we mean by that. So let me bring in Adam and Minister Israel. what are your thoughts as Nigerians, like this whole thing where maybe it's the woman's a cougar, she's got, like we said, if we were to flip it, if it was a woman that was 60 years old and married a 30-year-old man, why is our culture against it? Because I know when I mentioned that earlier, Adam, you went, like, oh my God, like you couldn't even believe that. But if it's a man, if it's flipped the other way, it's nothing. Adam, you want to jump in, or Minister Israel, whoever wants to go in, go for it.
I think I'll go first. I did not cover my face because I could not think about it. I covered my face because we're shaking tables. That's a table. That's a table.
That's a Nigerian expression that I have had to learn from Miss Greatness, my previous guest, where she unpacked childhood traumas for us, and she likes that terminology. I had to learn what that means. So we're shaking tables here.
Yes, okay. You are. Okay, so my own opinion, right? I'm saying that this is my opinion. I just feel like Nigeria or Africa, they are so used to the patriarchal way of thinking.
Okay.
They are so used to men being there and women being here.
Okay.
That the idea of a woman, an old woman, and a young man coming together, it's like you are striking them in a place that is hurting them the most. It's like to them, they see it like the woman is the one who is going to control the man. You understand? And when you put things like that for them, gender-based stuff like that,
right,
you will see that they always find a way to make it about submission. We should now submit to him. We lean now.
Right.
You understand that kind of thing?
Right.
And I think that's a colored way of looking at things. And I personally, I'm sorry, I feel like if it's love, do what works for you. If God is in it, do it. Go for it all the way. Do what God wants you to do in the marriage. Keep it holy, whatever. Do it.
Yes.
But you see, and I've also learned something that sometimes God will be in a thing and culture will not accept that thing. And it's fine. It's fine. Just know who to listen to and who not to listen to. Are you listening to God? Are you listening to culture?
Yes.
You have to pick one person. So I just think that whenever you see these people talking about it, it's because of their patriarchal mindset, thinking that men should be, lords. So that's my own thought.
Minister Israel, what are your thoughts? That's amazing. I agree. I do agree. Like, if it works for you, please go for it. But we do have that problem in Africa. It's the patriarchal way of doing things. Totally. Go ahead, sir.
All right. So in the olden days, we used to that people give out their children to chiefs, to have friends. Some people, they are in their early 13, in their teenagers, they give them out to go and marry an older papa, right? So those things, it's been happening, just like what Adam said, that is generational. So, but in this new era, they are in the 21st century, so we said things are changing. So the female gender, they are not staying in the kitchen again. We have a lot of them in as executives. We have CEOs. We have leaders all over the places. So we are changing the narration. So that's why it's difficult for it's still difficult for an older lady to say, I want to marry this guy, and everybody. For them, they can be okay. They are good with it, but the generation. I mean, what they said for us, the background, the society, all of that thing, those are the things that is going to question them, because for them, that's not how things are being done. Right. But I'm still referring to within days. The male, the father is go out there, go look for the money, go look for the shelter. The female gender is the one at home. She's always at home, taking care of the home, the house, the children, the welfareism. Right. So a woman is coming in and said, I'm older than you and I want to date or marry you that you're younger. There are a lot of things lot of questions that's going to pop up here. And so society, family, friends, environment, all of those things is going to attack them. That, hey, are you sure you're really going to do this? Right? But over time, bringing it into the context of this generation, 21st century now, things have changed. So we have the guys doing the work, we have the ladies doing the work. As a matter of fact, we know some ladies that have everything, like they have everything, their life sorted out.
Right.
All they need is just a male in their life.
Okay.
They have the money, they have the business, they have everything.
True.
What they need is just a man.
Okay.
And so some of them, they are able to submit. I mean, they need a man. So once a man comes into their life, they're able to submit. It's not submission. They have people that they can let go of everything they have just to attend the man. And we have people that, of course, do not do that. So let me boils down, conclude that we have differences. We have our personality. So our personality should be considered too. We know people that they are just business-minded. They are business-minded. They can do this, they can do that. People like that, you can't marry them and subjugate them and let them stay like that. No, they are wired. Pursue an idea, do this. Tomorrow they're in Dubai, next tomorrow they're in another country. They're running their business. So people like that, you can't date them or marry them and suppress them. It will not work. Meanwhile, we have some people, they are very good lady, but their specialty or their focus is just limited to the house. They are good homemaker. They can do all of that. So if you marry someone like that, it can work because they are not the one that will always be coming out. They are not the one that will be pursuing one so-called purpose or one. They are moving like that. Right. I think we should just consider personality because people are different. We have people that this is how they are wired. So if you are coming into, you know that they have a track record. This is what they've been doing before you met them or before you come into their life. So you cannot come and modify them. You cannot tell them this is what you don't do. So all of those things should be put together. But in summary, biblically, men are supposed to provide, to do all of that. Women are meant to submit. And when I mean submit now, you honor your husband, you honor the male gender in your life. If he is older and she still knows that she's going to fulfill that promise or honor that law, there's no problem. There's no problem with that. Because most times, when there is disappointment, when there is conflict in the relationship of marriage, will you now see this guy as just a random young boy, like your younger brother that is messing up? Right? Good question. Situations like that occur, and you can see a guy or a man that you're married to as one of your irresponsible younger brother. Then, right there, you're not fulfilling that law again that says you should submit and honor your husband. Sure. So that these are many contexts that we should put together before anybody can do it. So that, hey, am I going to honor the law? Am I going to do this? All of these things are possible, but you should just consider and weigh it. When you weigh it, you'll be able to know if it's something you can do or not.
You can or can't do. Yeah. So and I think really for the African society, I think for us the problem is even if the lady was like ready to submit, the naysayers. Third parties. They would really be having a lot to say. And because we are in a society where we are taught to listen to what everybody else is saying and not really pay attention to what we are feeling or what we even feel the Lord is leading us to, because then we want to honor everybody else and not that small still voice or even the leading of the Holy Spirit. Because there are people who could have married somebody who was a God given spouse, but because of all the naysayers, because they did not fit into the norm of the society or what we feel or who we feel this person should be like or be with. And I say that because I want to compare something very quickly, because I don't know if all our viewers are aware of this. The French president, Emmanuel Macron, his wife was his school teacher, and they have a 24-year age gap. Okay.
Wow.
You didn't know, France, they all white there. Okay.
Can I say something?
Now,
I don't know if I can comment.
Wait, let me correct that, because I don't people be like sending hate mail and whatever and correction. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Like,
we know what you're saying. We know exactly what you're saying.
It's a white culture. I'm trying to get the difference between our African mindset and the way we're given to tradition. This man, like, can I just tell you, if that man was African and he tried to run somewhere for president, let me tell you, people of God, he would not be president.
Wow. They would be talking like that?
He would not be an African, he would not be a president in any African nation. I can tell you that for a fact. Yes. No, like the outrage. But we see it's working in France. And I think this is what you were saying, Minister Israel, that the individuals involved, are you guys okay with it? Or can the woman submit? Are you ready to see him as a guys? They've been married for a minute. I hope y'all know that. I was trying to go on Google just now to see how long ago they got married.
Wow.
Year 2007, people of God. So 2017, and there's 18, 19, 20, years? 21, 22, 23. 15. Yeah, well, okay, 15 years. We're in 22. I'm going all the way to 23. But you see what I'm saying? It's working clearly. 15 years into it, they understand each other. And I'm not saying everybody in France was like, hey, clapping for him, be like, congrats. I'm sure there were naysayers, right? But they would have probably had to shut that out, and they couldn't care less. You know, because she's 24 years older than him. She's old enough to be his mother, but clearly it's working. It's working so well that she's the first lady of France.
Hey, it's working for her.
It's definitely working really well for him. Really working well for him. Yeah, it's one of those things that I think we have to understand, that there may be challenges, but if those challenges are third-party type of challenges, I think they can be put away and have the couple in question just deal with what they have on ground. Because they understand each other. And that level of maturity that is concerned, where like I said, for me, I think the only problem I have is if someone was so young, like in their early 20s, and the person is like, 15, 20 years older than them, they still really haven't matured enough. Yes. They're still trying to find their life. They're still trying to, navigate through life. And then, I think, that would need a whole lot of work. But generally for me, as standard, I'm like, listen, if y'all have an understanding, by all means, do you. Yeah, do you. Or do you both love the Lord? Are y'all both on the same page? Yeah. Sort of thing. Go from there, sort of thing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So I don't know. Anyway, Adam, what are your thoughts? French president, 24 years younger than his wife.
Okay, I think what I would like to say about this and the Black community, that we have to fully understand what submission is. I think that we have a painted version of idea of submission, and that has always been our limitation. If we can lose back, if we can actually move past all those ideas, those subtle things that we feel like a woman submitting means she's beneath you, means that she can't speak, she can't talk to you about what she feels like you're doing wrong. You understand all those ways that we just deal with submission as Black people,
right?
You know, telling your wife to kneel down because she offended you, you know, things like that, and saying that that's submission is because she's not obedient. If we cannot move past that place, it will be impossible for us, because I've come to realize that true submission is not those things. Those things are looking down on the person that's supposed to stand tall beside you.
That's good. We were trying to define the whole submission thing, because submission, and I get it, you know, especially for you guys especially for you guys in West Africa. I don't know if it's standard in all of West Africa that y'all kneel down for husbands, kneel down for you know, that sort of thing as a sign. I don't know if they do that too in Ghana. I don't think they do that. Do they do that in Ghana? I have a few friends from Ghana. I've not seen them do, but anyway, for the benefit of this particular show, let's focus on Nigeria, because I think it's a thing there, right? So the whole kneeling down thing. So like I think that programming, that submission means, oh, I've got to kneel down. Go ahead, Adam. Just say it again for the benefit of Minister Israel.
I'm saying that if we can move past the colored submission that we have, where we think that when a female actually is wrong, she can't just apologize without kneeling down. You know, where you feel like you are in a place where you can punish her. Where you feel like she cannot question what you have to say, or what you've done, and everything. And if she does that, it means she's not submissive. If she's open, if she can have conversation, you feel like she's everywhere, she's not submissive. And I think that if we can actually move past that place, then marriages that are with age difference for women will be possible. Will be very possible, because you will I think that the Western culture, they already get the point of relating first with each other as humans. What is it that I will like to be done to me? Will I like someone looking down on me? Will I like to be belittled? Will I like, you understand? So they understand that, and so it's for them, it's not a question mark, big question mark on will she be submissive? Will she treat me right? Will I be able to treat her right? And for us here, we are still having that issue of will she be submissive? And when we look at the real thought of submission, you will see that it's flawed. Like, I get what the Bible is trying to say, but when you see people, like Black people, trying to interpret the submission, you see that it's so close to slavery, and you're like, hold on. So I think I just wanted to mention that if we can actually define what submission is in clear terms, we might be able to help a lot of people.
Minister Israel, sir, good. Go ahead, jump in, sir, and let's hear you.
I guess we are still trying to push this narration, because it started with our older generation, our forefathers, our fathers, right? So I guess the kneeling down thing, the prostrating, fact, I get to know that there are some people that they mandate their wife that every day you should be cooking soup for me. It's so bad, like they eat fresh soup every day.
Wow.
And if a wife cannot meet up to that daily activity, she's not submissive. But a lot of change. Take for instance, now I live in Lagos. Lagos is very crowded, a lot of traffic congestion. People go to work in the morning, sometimes come back very late.
Right.
So you can't expect your wife to fulfill that responsibility at workplace and come back home, and you still expect her that every night she needs to cook fresh soup for you.
Right.
Like, It doesn't make sense.
For the benefit,
one
moment, Minister Israel, for for the benefit of those that don't understand when you say soup, okay? Because I used to want to be like, y'all eat a lot of soup, and I thought it was regular soup
but it wasn't.
Apparently, it's like a casserole or like a stew. Yes.
Okay. I thought it was soup, like you said.
It's not soup the way you and I understand soup. It's like a stew, a casserole of some sort that would be served maybe with rice or yam or fufu.
Right.
That sort of thing. Anyway, carry on, Minister Israel. So you're expecting her to cook this soup.
Every day.
Yeah.
So my point is, digital transformation has happened. We are in 21st century where you can use technology to automate all of these activities. You can preserve things. You can put things in the freezer, in the refrigerator. Some people cook what they will eat for a week or 2 weeks, and they just stock it in the refrigerator. They come back from work. They just pick it up. Put things together and they eat. But where we are coming from, they don't do this. In fact, some people will tell you that they cannot eat any food that you put in the refrigerator.
Oh yeah.
Right. So when you analyze all of these decisions, when you analyze it, you see that enforcing someone to do your bidding, it's not submission. In fact, when we take in submission into the Bible now, the two parties, they are team player. Like, you are not the boss. You are not the boss. This is not your junior.
Or your servant.
Both of you are team players. You make decisions together. So that's true submission for me. So you can't just come in and enforce a law. No, we should be able to navigate it. We should be able to filter whatever you're telling us. So if you are bringing any rules into this household, both of us should be able to filter it. We should be able to, make sense of it. You can't just come and boss. In the olden days, people, they boss us now. Our fathers, they used to boss the mother. Just tell them, this is what you do, and you must do it. Even if it is harmful, even if it is painful, you must do it. If you don't do it, society come at you and say, hey, you are disobeying your husband. You are not submissive. You are not blah, blah, blah. But thank God we thank you for this generation. A lot of things have changed. And if we bring it in context of the Bible, we cannot just make any decision. Both of us should be able to come together and make sense of it. For me, it's submission, because if the rule is made between two of us, then we should be able to be faithful and just commit to it.
Yeah, I totally agree, sir. So there's something that, before I bring in Apostle Sharon for closing remarks, I posted something the other day on how a young 28-year-old Tanzanian beauty queen and makeup artist was murdered by her husband. And there was a lot of what led to that. It was controlling spirit, that slavery, I own you. And then somebody made a comment and said, marriage is not ownership, it's a partnership. And I hear what you're saying. Y'all are both team players. So I think for us as Africans, we're going to have to figure out how we're going to have to change our understanding of what submission looks like, and not just say, well, it's got to be this way, because like Adam said, it borders a lot along the side of slavery. It's no longer submission. It's more like, I'm the master and you the slave sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's that. Go ahead, Miss Sharon. Give us some closing remarks. We're well out of time. We gotta go, people.
Yeah, my closing remark too is that when the man is, because the order is God, then man, then the woman. So when the man is submissive or obedient to God, a woman would not have any problem with being submissive and obedient to him, because that's the order. But I honestly feel like the age difference, it is truly between the two individuals. If they are both mature enough to handle the age gap, then so be it, because it's really them two that has to deal with it. They're the ones that have to live with each other. Society doesn't. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I totally agree. So guys, listen, we're bringing it to an end, but listen, I want to leave this word of encouragement to especially to the African brothers, okay? Because I know y'all have a hard time getting together, with a lady who may you already like, y'all are in agreement, y'all love each other, you're both in the Lord, or y'all have an understanding. But the fact that she's older than you, people be trying to discourage you and so on and so forth. Listen, I learned something from this couple that I believe they're a Nigerian celebrity in Nollywood, the whole movie industry in Nigeria, really just beautiful couple. Stan Zay, I'm not sure if I'm saying his last name correctly, and his wife, Blessing. And he said something that blew me away. He said, listen, I'm not going to marry a woman according to what society wants me to marry. But I'm going to marry the woman that gives me peace. We have an understanding. Listen, peace is an important thing in your home. Okay, listen, there's something Medea said. Tyler Perry, he said, only two places on this earth you're going to have peace: in your home and in the grave. Absolutely.
Now,
in the grave, assuming you made heaven, you're just waiting, you're in paradise, you're in Abraham's bosom. Okay. But in your home, seriously, you want to be able to come to your home and it's a safe haven from all the madness that's going on in the world. And not, so you got to pick whoever you're picking, according to how the Lord has led you, the conviction in your heart, and not what society is saying to you. Because that brother, I know they have a series now on YouTube, and just the peace that you can see they radiate in their relationship, the joy. She's 10 years older than him, and the naysayers up in his ear, it was unbelievable. Wow. So listen, I said we Africans, we do things totally different. So listen, y'all, do you be led of God, and more than anything else, yes, be led of God and choose according to the conviction in your heart, not so much as what society is saying. Because guess what? Society ain't coming to live with you in the house. No, they're not. No, they're not. Nope. And I believe people like the French president, they've just proved that. Like I said, I know there were naysayers in their relationship. I'm sure not everybody in France was like, woohoo, fantastic. But you know what? They've done what they needed to do for themselves, and to show you just how determined and how good they are for each other. Hey, he became president. You don't become president if your home is on fire. Hello.
Right.
Okay, you'd be out putting that fire. You would be putting fire out in your home before you come to put out fire on a national level. Okay.
Exactly.
So totally. So anyway, people of God, let's leave it here. We are going to be back next week, okay, with another amazing show. We're going to have a guest, by the way, and this time we're going to be talking about, get this, social media love. Is it possible to meet somebody? Mr. Israel's like, yeah, bring it on. Okay, listen. We're going to talk about, is it possible to meet somebody on social media and actually get into a full relationship and actually get to that place of marriage? We're going to have a couple who have that testimony next week. Don't go away. Make sure you stay with this YouTube channel, this Facebook page, on Instagram, and all that good stuff. Like, share, comment, do the usual stuff. I love y'all. From me and my contributors, we gotta go, people of God. We will see you next time. Y'all, bye-bye. Bye-bye. See you next Saturday, y'all. Mwah, 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 mwah.